There's nothing like a good switcheroo. In this week's podcast, we kind of do a switcheroo ourselves. I mean, more like I do a switcheroo, stealing lines and stealing identities. Don't worry, I'm not an identity theft or anything. But you know who did do a switcheroo? Microsoft and Sony. Because apparently Microsoft last week was like, we're going to show you gameplay for next gen. And then Sony this week was like, we're going to show you next gen gameplay from Epic. Yeah, we're talking that Unreal Engine 5. And it looks beautiful. All running on a PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5, Unreal 5, PlayStation 5. You see the promotion that they did? Yeah, Sony's smart. Or they really don't know how to manage their own PR. But hey, anyways, we're talking about that. And we're also just, going to just talk about some games and life in Japan. Because how often do we talk about life in Japan? At the front of the show. It's been a while. So we think that you're going to really enjoy my struggles. You'll find out when you listen. But we hope you enjoy this episode. Once again, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at UGP_cast. You can also leave us a voice message on anchor.fm/UGP cast. You got to go there. You got to go there and leave us. Just please leave us a voice message. Okay, I won't beg too much. And finally, we're always on YouTube, and hopefully we're going to be doing a couple of maybe like live podcasts or just more gameplay things that we did, like, with the Let's Play Final Fantasy that we did. And I thought that turned out really well. So I want to, me and Alex, we want to do that again. So that's about it. Once again, what's coming. Remember to tell your friends, your family, your dogs, your cats, your figures, your rocks, your PCs, your artwork that you share across the internet. Tell them all about the Unknown Games podcast. We hope you enjoy the show once again, and that's it. Have a great day. Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 33 of the Unknown Games podcast. I'm your boy Alex. Decided to switch my name today and be someone different. Did some cool intros. Feel pretty proud of myself for being a different person today. How are you doing, Adrian?
What's up? I'm Adrian.
Oh, that was okay. No, I'm just messing with you, everybody. You already know that. That is not Alex's real name. And wait. I confused myself. My name is Adrian, and my co-host is Alex. There we go. And this is episode number 33 of the Unknown Games podcast, where we talk about video games and life in Japan. We haven't talked about life in Japan in a little bit because, well, honestly, nothing's been happening because of quarantine.
You can talk about your cockroach story.
Oh, fudge, man. So, okay. So, long story short, in Japan, I don't care how clean your apartment is. These mofos will get in. I don't care who you are. If you're on the second or third floor, you stand a much better chance of not ever seeing them. But I live on the first floor, and not only is right outside my door, straight ground with some grass and kind of mud. There's also I don't know if it's the sewage drain, but when it gets clogged, yeah, you can see they're like, don't use double roll toilet paper. Anyways. So last night, I'm trying to get some sleep. I wake up and I go to wash my hands, use the bathroom or whatever. And then I see this thing on the wall. And Japanese cockroaches, in your experience, Alex, compared to Canadian cockroaches. Wait, are there cockroaches in Canada? It's cold.
No, there are none.
Damn, that's awesome. See, that's how happy I would be. I would take this trade-off. No, these things are I don't know, the size of your palm, like a little kid's palm, I guess, maybe
yeah, they can get pretty big,
and every one of them that I've seen so far has been flying. And by every one of them, I mean I sprayed this one. It tried to run away because the spray doesn't take effect right then and there.
Yeah,
it runs away.
Insta kill them.
And it gets into a crack, right? But it dies inside that crack. So I'm trying to get it out, and I can't use the bath. I can't use the vacuum cleaner because it's like what 2 a.m. or something. So I'm just like, okay, well, I'll leave it there and do that in the morning. I go to sleep, wake back up. Don't drink too much water before you go to sleep, everyone. It's not a good idea. And lo and behold, I see it in a different spot. Now I'm like, okay, maybe this is a second one. This is a different one. No, that dude had revitalized himself. He just straight rezzed.
He respawned.
He respawned because I looked in that crack, not there anymore. Respawned, just up on the ceiling. So this time I spray him, I get him, I march his corpse outside, toss it in the trash can, like never come back, burn, leave me alone. But I can't sleep. So I'm just up literally all night and I hear some more noise. I'm like, what the fudge? Really? I'm like, oh man, come on, no more. And it's coming from the ceiling. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. And finally, my friend messages me. I just get on the computer and I'm just talking to him. I'm like, okay, this is crazy. I'm done. I'm done. And I didn't think anything would pop out. I thought maybe I was imagining it. I opened the door and it's just waiting there. It's just waiting.
Like outside, like on the ground?
Oh, no. Outside of my bedroom. It's just waiting next to the couch like, hi.
Oh,
Hi.
damn.
And luckily the spray was in arm's reach. So I sprayed that dude, girl, whatever they are. And I marched it out as well and said bye. And finally, this does not end because it is muggy outside a little bit, and kind of the rainy season is starting. So it's their favorite time to come out and play. I found out I have like a small little crack in the roof of my apartment. Not roof, but the
ceiling.
Ceiling. There we go. The ceiling of my shower room. Yeah. And I opened the door to take a shower, and lo and behold, up on top, Santa Claus is looking at me like, hey, what's up? I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So now I need to go get that fixed. Long story short, I hate cockroaches. They suck, but they are part of Japan.
It sounds like you live in the ghetto. Like you have a hole in your ceiling and stuff.
It sounds like I've been in like, I live in like the worst place ever, but it's actually really nice. So the story of this apartment is that apparently an old lady died in it. Yes, an old lady died in it. I had to find an apartment within 2 weeks.
Wait, an old lady died in your suite?
Yeah. This place
died in the suite.
Yeah.
So she died like
somewhere in here. Somewhere in here, she died, and they told, because like by Japanese law, they're required to tell you if someone dies and if you want to have, your place purified with salt and whatever. And I was like, okay, well, I don't care. And she just goes, yeah, she died peacefully. But you will want to realize that your floor is kind of scratched up from cats. From cats.
Okay.
like she was like clawing. No. It's like cats. So there's like a lot of little cat things because they let her have cats. And yeah, so I mean, I'm cool. I'm like, okay, whatever. So this place came pretty much discounted. It's nicely affordable. It's in a good area, like 7 minutes from the station, 5 minutes if you walk fast. And there's good restaurants around here. There's a little coffee shop. It's 5 minutes from City Hall. It's a nice place. I can't lie.
So is your rent like really cheap? Like your monthly rent?
It's like $500. $500 with water included.
Well, okay. With but no gas, no internet, right?
Yeah, but not gas, internet, and electric. Just water. So it's overall it's pretty nice. The size is good for being out here outside of Tokyo and Chiba. And I honestly, like I said, I don't have any problems except for that bathroom, except for that place, because it's stone. This building is old, so I've got stone walls in there.
Yeah, it sounds like you should probably move eventually. That should be your next life goal.
Move. That was my life goal, I think, for this year, like to try to move apartments. Like I was like, man, but the key fee here in Japan to like actually,
it can get pretty crazy.
It's crazy.
So I just to get everyone back on track, because we're a gaming podcast, but since we live in Japan, like we tend to talk about Japan every now and then. And hey, if you're interested in Japan, if you ever want to like move here or you do live here, hopefully you'll find some of our stories interesting.
Yeah, especially about the summertime. Summertime is just straight muggy and
What about the
cockroaches.
Keefe thing? So, like, when is your contract expiring?
So I actually re-signed. I signed my contract, I think, last August, if I remember.
So you have one more year
I
left
have
to go after
Yeah,
this
I
one,
have
right?
one more year left to go. Which
Yeah,
can you cancel straight up in the middle of contract in Japan?
yeah, you can
Okay,
cancel,
okay,
but you have to pay like whatever cancellation fee. It will be written in your contract. But
okay,
about
okay.
the Keefe thing, like, so there's a bunch of, I don't know if it's government housing, but it's like it's subsidized housing, and I think partially, like, I think the government might subsidize part of it, but
Crap.
there's
What are
UR
those?
housing, right?
What are those called? Those are like the
Yeah,
houses.
it's UR. It's called UR
UR
housing.
houses. Okay, okay.
Yeah, and then you can go to like their website, or you can go to a UR office, I guess, and you can try to find apartments that don't have key money on it. So
Mm.
that'll help you like move basically. And then if you they have a bunch of properties that are like, I don't know, they're kind of like discounted, I guess.
Wait, do we
But
call those like the danchi, like the group housing kind of thing?
I don't know if it's the same. Actually, I'm
Okay,
not sure.
okay. I just know that
But
you oughta that
yeah,
place. Okay.
so you can go and like there's a bunch of properties that are like, if you promise that you're only gonna live there for the first contract and you will not renew, you promise that you won't renew, you can get a pretty good discount on housing.
Okay.
So you get a good deal. You move into hopefully a nice area, and maybe there's no key money, so it does save you a lot of money to move out. But because you can only stay there for like 2 years, you have to move again in another 2 years.
Like I've got like my apartment set up pretty like I got it pretty set up nicely. If anyone's been here, I know like friend of the show Ravar and also Anthony, they've been here and stayed, and like the number one request is just like, yeah, man, you got to upgrade essentially that bathroom. When they came here, I didn't even have a bed. Honestly, there was no bed, there was no desk, there was no computer. This room was a storage room essentially, and my second room, like the living room, because it has a heater, or not heater, but an air conditioner unit there. I would just pretty much sleep on a futon out there. So, you know, it's one of those things that was kind of weird, and people were like, "Hey, you should get a bed at least."
Yeah, well, I mean, like now that you have I don't know, a bed, maybe you
I've got
can
a bed now.
consider moving apartments next when your contract's up.
Yeah, I want to move into one of those like kind of high rise mansion places, like a little like those cost a crap ton of money though.
Oh
But
yeah,
I'm
I think
tired.
like
Yeah,
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I'm tired of living on ground floor. I've lived on ground floor every year that I've been
my
in Japan.
my first apartment was also on the ground floor, and I had a couple of cockroaches crawl in as well, especially because my first apartment was kind of ghetto. I lived in a not great area as well, and the building
Yep,
itself was pretty old. The facilities were kind of busted up. So you know how like when you have the screen door for your balcony, like there's a bug screen, right?
yep.
The bug screen itself was broken. Like it was just a huge ass hole like in the corner of the screen. And
Oh,
I like knew there was a hole there, but I didn't really think about it. I was like, oh, it's probably fine. So then I it was the summertime, so I left the glass door open just because it was so hot, right?
oh no,
Um, and
no,
I come home, yeah, and there's this like
oh
huge
no.
like this huge cockroach like on my wall. I was like, oh
Oh,
no. And you're right, like with the spray, like it doesn't insta kill them. Like they scurry. So you hit them and then they kind of like drop off the wall or they like fly away. And you gotta like chase them down. You gotta like follow up
you
on
have
your
to follow
kill.
up. You have to keep
Yeah.
spraying for an additional like 3 seconds. Just follow up on that spray, everybody. That's survival 101 in Japan. Follow up on your
Yeah.
spray.
Yeah. And then you gotta douse them.
It's
So
it's
now I
crazy
live,
too.
yeah. Well, I don't live on the first floor anymore, but like I think from now on, like every time that I look for an apartment, one of my requirements will be like it has to be above ground level. Like I don't
Yeah,
want to live on a ground floor. It's not just the bugs.
it's also. Oh, okay.
It's not just the bugs
Okay.
either.
I mean, it's also like in terms of earthquake, like I'm the first one to get buried.
Yeah. Well, aside from that, it's also like I don't want like when I used to live on the ground floor, and I had to like take my I had to dry my laundry.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you open your screen door and you're just like putting your shirts out. You're just putting your underwear out, and you're on the street. So like just people are walking past you, and you're like, "Hey, what's up?
Dang.
It's my clothes." So
I'm almost that way. Like my balcony, it's actually above the street level because like I'm on a hill kind of thing. So um it still has like a little balcony feel to it. Honestly, if I could have a small grill, I would grill there.
Yeah.
If I just had a small, a small little Western grill, I'd put that mug out there and grill. But that's not legal here, so yeah. Man.
The last time I was looking for apartments at this point, this couple years ago, but I was like, oh, I want to live not on the ground floor, like at least the second floor, right?
Yeah, at least second floor.
And then the real estate agent was like, oh yeah, we have a nice, really big apartment like that you can check out. So I took a look, and when they said it was second floor, that wasn't entirely true. It was weird. It's like the apartment itself was slanted. I don't even know how to describe it.
What?
Yeah. So when you come in through the front door, that's on the second floor. You're like, oh yeah, this is the second floor. But as you walk through the property, and then as you get to the rear balcony, it's on street level for some reason, because it's like on a hill.
It's on a hill, so like the hill actually catches up to
exactly
apartment
to the rear balcony. Yeah. So I was like, oh, I want a second floor, and then I check out the rear balcony, and I was like, this is not second. How dare you? Like no.
So would that mean that whoever is on the first floor, they're basically like the basement level kind of thing? Like
yeah. Well, the thing about that property was there was no first floor. Like it was the bottommost. Yeah.
It was just that floor.
But yeah, I took a look at that apartment. Me and my girlfriend took a look at it, and like it was nice. It was spacious back when we were moving in. Like we had plans on how to use the space, and it was really great. But like what put us off was the distance from the station, and also just that it really wasn't the second floor.
It really does help. Like the closer you are to the station, that's why I like this apartment. As like some of the flaws, because they actually renovated it before I moved in, so everything is pretty much new except for that bathroom because it's just so old. They did put in a toilet, not a toilet, but a actually, yeah, they did take out the Japanese style toilet, put in a Western style toilet, and then also fixed up the shower with a tub. So it's for the most part modern, just the walls are concrete.
Do you have a unit bath or what?
It's separate, so it's not a unit.
Oh, okay.
Which in some ways is good because I have a lot of room, but at least the unit bath. My previous apartment was a unit bath, and you can keep that clean a lot easier than like straight up tile. God,
oh my god, I used to cheat when I lived in an apartment with a unit bath. I would just like spray the whole room. I would just take the shower head and just like spray everything.
Just spray it. Actually, what's crazy is my last apartment did not have a sink to brush my teeth in. I don't know if that's common in Japan. Like you just don't have a sink. I'm kidding.
You had to use like the kitchen sink?
I had to use the kitchen sink to brush my teeth.
That's crazy, man.
I legit looked 3 times when I moved in. I just kept looking like there has to be a sink in here. There has to no sink at all. No sink. Just the kitchen sink.
Yeah. Anyways, well, that's what it's like to live in Japan. That's what it's like to look for an apartment in Japan.
It's relatively easy as long as you have a little cosigner or maybe like a Japanese person who can cosign for you, or you pay the insurance company, one of the two.
Oh yeah, God forbid you're a foreigner looking for an apartment. That's a whole totally different topic, but yeah.
For the next episode of the Unknown Games podcast, brought to you by Life in Japan and us and Anchor.fm. Yeah, so that was a nice little intro, though. I enjoyed talking Japan life. We haven't done that in a while, so that was good. This week, we are going to be talking about the pretty much epic... Oh, I did not mean to say it like that, but the epic things that happened in the world of gaming. Number one being the Unreal 5, I think?
Yeah, it's the fifth engine, yeah.
Unreal 5 being unveiled with the demo running on PlayStation 5, which wowed us all after Xbox let us see real gameplay, too. The week before. And of course, Apex Season 5, me and Alex, we are on it because, well, actually, I wasn't actually on it that much until this weekend. So we're going to start out with Apex, and then we're going to end up on Unreal Engine 5. So, Alex, I don't know how you've played a lot more Apex Season 5 than me. I actually got burnt out a little bit and didn't play for like 4 days. I took a break and just played Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah, I've been playing almost nightly actually since the season 5 started. So it's pretty good so far. You get a new character. You got Loba. So her abilities her passive is seeing high tier loot through walls. Her tactical ability is basically a teleport.
Yep.
and then her ultimate is called the Black Market, which lets you put this thing down, and then has a bit of a. It's not a huge radius, but I don't know how big the radius is, but in a certain area you can basically see all the loot that's either in a death box or in a bin or something like that.
Which is good, and you're allowed to get up to 2 items, like you and your teammates.
Up to 2 items, yeah, or your enemies if you choose not to collapse it. Yeah, a lot of people I noticed that aren't collapsing it.
They just leave it up for some reason. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
thanks.
Yeah. Anyways, so anyone, so it's teammates or enemies, anyone who accesses your black market can grab up to 2 items from everything in the area. So it's really good after a gunfight. If you clean up a couple teams and there's a lot of death boxes, you can just drop. Have your Loba drop it down and take a look at basically everything that is in those death boxes. Grab what you need and get out of there real quick.
And it's
so that's Loba.
That's Loba. She's good. I've actually been playing a lot of Loba on New Kings Canyon. I don't know what we're calling it. It's just New Kings Canyon before they start the rotation up. But yeah, Kings Canyon itself also, Skull Town is gone, as well as Wetlands is pretty much like as it was is gone. It's been kind of renovated, I guess, with, I think, what is it called? Like Rig and Capacitor or something like that?
Yeah, so Capacitor used to be Relay.
Okay.
And Rig is just in the top right corner, so is that Wetlands? Anyways, like the top rightmost of the map is called Rig now.
Yep, and then Skull Town is just underground. It's gone. Bump that place.
It's a kill area. If you try to, like, you'll just fall into the ocean and die.
Dude, I totally,
I'm not even kidding. Like that happened to me. Yeah, that happened to me. Yeah, I'm actually not kidding.
Did you there's a bridge. There's 2 bridges that link to that area, but there's one bridge, and I was like, oh, okay, I can hop over this fence, and then I was like, there's nothing here.
No. So what happened was, like, we were in the drop ship, the supply ship. Sorry.
Yeah.
And we were like, all right, we got our loot. Let's jump. And like, we were just like, all right, let's hop. And then I just jumped off the ship, and then I was like, oh no, there's nothing here. There's nothing here. And then we died. Yeah.
I wonder how much like data they have of people who actually have just been in that same situation for whatever reason. Like, because your mind, like for me, I had like a flashback of old Kings Canyon. Like, oh, I could just hop over this, and I'm gonna be okay. And there's just nothing. I'm like, okay, bump it. But I gotta say that the new map, the adjustments that they've made, definitely people are jumping all over the place. There's still a hot area near Market / where Skull Town used to be, but it's spread out, and fights kind of converge on it.
Well, I think it was a calculated decision because they noticed they didn't, a lot of people were dropping at Skull Town no matter what, always. So they're like, we want to basically change the meta before the game gets like too stale or whatever. So I think it was a calculated decision to change the map like that.
Yep, and also we have not new weapons. If you want to count the Peacekeeper as a new weapon, that mug is straight deadly. So the Peacekeeper is now in the crate,
care packages,
care package. So you have to open that up once it drops to get one of those. But if you have Loba, then maybe you can snatch it off of somebody, or even get care package without even going to it. And then in exchange, the Mastiff is now a common weapon.
I think this change was for the better, to be honest.
So, I agree, except for when you encounter the new Peacekeeper.
Right. So the thing about the Peacekeeper in like previously was that it's a very good gun. It's a common gun. Mm-hmm. And even without a choke, it was still pretty deadly. Well, it is deadly. It was deadly at close range.
Yeah.
And then like once you have the choke on it, like you could slay to mid range, and you could even hit people long range comically. You wouldn't like down them probably, but you can still hit them long range, right?
Yeah.
It was just a very, very good gun. And then the Mastiff, when you got it from a care package, would do a lot of damage. It had a decent rate of fire, but it has spread. Like you'll notice that it had a decent amount of bullet spread.
Yeah, it's spread unless you ADS with it is pretty. Like you're gonna miss more shots than you expect. For a shotgun.
Yeah, so I had a final ring fight like a month ago or something, just obviously before season 5. Mm-hmm. It was me and another player. We both had Mastiffs, and we were just like shooting. We were in a room together, and like we weren't like we didn't instantly down each other. Like we didn't like exchange a couple like shots. Yeah. So I mean, I feel like that would not have happened with the Peacekeeper.
It's yeah, it's a the Peacekeeper. Yeah, you hit, and now you definitely kill. Don't even because the reloads faster. The bolt that's on it, I swear that thing's like a level 4 because it's even faster. It shoots even
It
faster
does,
now.
yeah. They tuned it to be actually even more damaging, and I think that they might have tightened the spread.
This the spread is tightened. Yeah, they tightened the
But
spread too a little
like,
bit. It's
I
crazy.
noticed on Twitter that people were complaining about the Mastiff as a normal weapon. They're like,
Really?
"Oh, the spread is so bad."
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
It was like a guy on the range who was like showing off. Basically, you can't hit anything with the Mastiff at
Mm,
range.
yeah. You can't.
But to that, I have to say, like, well, that makes sense. It's a shotgun. It's not a. It's meant for close range, right? I
That's
feel
true.
like that's for balance purposes. And the Peacekeeper is still, you can still hit people at long range with a Peacekeeper, and that's
Yeah.
probably why it's a gold weapon now.
Yep. I think overall it's for the better, and of course I think even more so than Loba coming in, and I honestly I think Loba is definitely a game changer for the higher ups or for just the meta in general, along with the map. But Mirage, Mirage getting buffed to next level
Oh yeah, he's
top
good.
tier.
He's really
Holy
good now.
crap.
Yeah, he's so the fact that you can now control your mirages,
Mm-hmm.
um, so you can basically make it seem like the decoy is you because it'll act like a human. You can do dumb things. You can slide hop. You can what's the word? Crouch spam,
Crouch.
right?
I mean, it's pretty much just mimicking it. So you send it out normally, like you would like you did it before,
And
and
then
then
yeah,
you press a button, and you can whatever you're
can
doing, it's
it'll do
mimicking.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
So that's good.
it's
Um,
insane.
and then you have two. What is it? Two charges and decoys, right?
You have
So you
two.
can
Yep.
send two out in short succession, and then you have the ultimate, which is tweaked to be more like emergency dance party from Dummy's Big Day, that event they had a couple of months ago.
Mm-hmm. Which that is really confusing. I want them to limit the amount of decoys because there are so many decoys dancing. I don't know who is what, where.
Well,
The Converse,
that's good. That means his ultimate is working, right?
there's so much. There's so many, and I mean, like the
Yeah,
thing is that he used to when he used to activate his ult, he would go invisible, and he would cloak, and he couldn't do anything until he came out of cloak. But now he goes cloak for 2 seconds, I think, comes out of cloak, so it's just enough time for him to pop, go somewhere, and then just relocate. And those decoys, and you can control them. Same thing, same mechanics. So it's insane. And then on top of that, his I think one of his best buffs that makes me want to play him is the fact that when he reses a teammate, not
yeah,
only does
yeah.
he cloak, but the teammate
The
also
teammate
cloaks.
cloaks as
It's
well. Also, when you're respawning someone in at the ship, like
Yeah,
with the beacon, yeah.
you end up cloaking too, so people don't know you're there until the dropship arrives. But still, I think Mirage is. I really want to run like Wraith, Mirage, Loba, and just start running around doing crazy. Where are people? What are you doing? Pathfinder, Pathfinder, I got nerfed a little bit, so with his grappling hook. But overall, like, how are you finding this season as opposed to the previous seasons? Are your expectations higher? Are you enjoying it more? Do you feel like you're going to be more invested because we have like the quest storyline stuff that's going on? Like, what do you think?
I mean, I'm probably just enjoying it the same as I did previously. So the quest stuff, I'm not like too excited. I mean, we'll see where it goes. I have been getting my treasure packs every day.
Okay, okay,
So I think today is when I can do the first of the quests.
yeah, yeah.
So I'll probably do that later tonight. But like Mirage buffs are pretty exciting. The map, like the map is fine. Like I'm not in love with the map, but it's just like I'm okay with it. Like I don't know.
It,
I think the changes are fun. Like I like the new areas, like rig and yeah, like whatever Wetlands used to be. And then there's a new door from Labs now.
oh yeah, that's true. There's that little door connecting to
Yeah,
labs, which is
yeah. So
pretty cool
that's
too.
fun.
And there's also that mechanic of where I think they really wanted to do risk reward in a lot of these places. You risk using black market. You send out that signal so people kind of know it's there, or know you're there using it. Or you can charge your ults now at
Yeah,
these
with
ult
those tower
stations.
things.
Yeah, and
Hmm.
I was like, did I hear a clap of thunder go off or something? Like, is this a clap of thunder? But
Yeah.
everyone knows where you are when you use that, and it's reward, and I think it's really cool because it's an instant charge. So if you're Gibraltar, just use your ult, and you get to one of those stations,
Yeah, you can pop 2 volts or
just
something. I think
pop it
it would be a
again.
waste on certain legends like Octane. Just have 2 jump pads like that.
Just have them
Would
out.
be a bit of a waste. Yeah, I'm really curious to see where they're going to take Octane with further buffs because in the patch
Mhm.
notes it said, well, I guess they buffed him by reducing the charge time of his ultimate.
Right, right.
But they said like they have more stuff planned for Octane, and I want to see what those planned changes are.
It'll be
Uh,
interesting. I mean, what do you think? What would you like to see for an Octane buff
I would
or
honestly
rework?
like to
Sorry, rework like Mirage.
either the health penalty for using your tactical
Hmm.
is reduced, or your health regeneration
Is faster.
that's self-inflicted is faster. So like I'm not saying
Mm,
he regens health faster, that kind of be cheap, but if it's self-inflicted like from the
from the
tactical,
stem.
then
Yeah.
I would want that to be regen
So
faster. You could
I
just
think
use that a lot.
because I think where he was in season one when they introduced him, he could see like he could tick about the same way as with the first ring. So like if he's in the first ring, he's kind of gaining health at a good rate. You know what I mean? But now it's like he doesn't gain it as fast, right? It's did they slow it? They slowed it down,
Um,
right? Like it, or
I'm
they
not
made the ring
sure.
stronger. One of the
They
two.
made the
Like
ring stronger. I'm pretty sure they
so.
made the ring stronger. But that's what I'd like to see. So either something to do with his health, or if he could, I don't know. I would say like maybe they give him the ability to double jump. Like that's a passive now. He can double jump.
Personally, just double jump.
Sorry, what?
Which yeah, just personally double jump. That wouldn't be
Yeah,
bad
double
to help
jump.
him like get to high places. I mean,
Hmm.
everyone else. I mean, he is a high mobility character, so it would make more sense for him to be able to relocate to higher positions without the jump pad. He's got
Hmm.
freaking shocks on his legs.
Yeah, especially because like so Loba basically can get high ground very quickly, faster than Pathfinder can maybe with the teleport.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, give Octane a double jump. That'd be fun.
Hashtag.
I'd like that.
Hashtag. Give Octane a double jump. Start that Twitter campaign.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'll see. Well, because they said the focus was on utility though, team utility. So I don't know if a double jump helps your team, to be honest. So
Unless everyone just like your entire team uses the jump pad together, like you just all fly together. That would be
yeah. So I don't know
kind of
how
cool.
they can increase team utility as Octane. Like, what do you think they could do to increase his team utility?
Um, it would be kind of cool if he gave everyone syringes, like the stem. I don't
So
know if
everyone could stim.
everyone could stem for just a little bit or something like that,
That'd be
or
so
that
crazy.
would
How
be.
would you? Yeah. How would you even manage? Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe if you use stem, you don't regen health for that ultimate, but you just get supercharged for a good amount of time. Like I think something like that could kind of work, but it's really like why would I want to get supercharged? I mean, Bangalore would be super hype because maybe it would stack with her and she's just freaking moving crazily.
Oh yeah,
But
because Bangalore runs faster when she gets hit, right?
I don't know. Like Octane is very much he's like Mirage, like he's a whatever buff they do to him or rework. I feel like it's even though they say it's going to benefit the team, it's going to be like Mirage's rework, right? It benefits him a lot, but it also benefits the team in a way.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
it's going to be one of
Well, they
those major
said
things.
the changes they had for Octane Plan just didn't make it into the patch, so I guess we'll have to wait till that next patch. I guess
Next
probably that's
patch.
halfway through the season, right, or something, probably.
Probably it'll probably be somewhere around the map rotation for ranked maybe, so like a month later. I think I could
Hmm.
see like a month and a half later for that. But yeah, Apex has been fun. And like I said, I did get back on it, and I've been enjoying Loba. I've been enjoying the teleport with her, and just trying to figure out how to use it better. I do miss my ring tosses sometimes, and it just gets deflected straight back down to the ground, and I'm like, man. But there have been some cool times where I've used it to escape, to shoot into a building, to get out of the action, to heal, or to reposition myself. And like I said, it I don't see as many Watsons running around. I don't see as many Caustics right now because everyone's still playing Loba. but I think they've done a good job, hopefully shifting the meta for this season, so we don't just have to see Watson, Gibraltar, Pathfinder, Wraith in combination.
Mm.
No one's playing Lifeline. Bless her heart. They're like, we're gonna leave her like she is. She's good where she is.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wonder if they will change Lifeline's passive in a way now that, for example, the heal speed, like Gibraltar in the dome, he reses faster, so that's kind of like Lifeline's thing. And now that Mirage can cloak when he's reviving characters, that's also like
Honestly,
that kind of
feels better than, because you can send out a decoy, right? Send out a decoy.
The thing about the decoy though is if you send out a decoy and you start resing a teammate, you and your teammate go invisible, but your decoy does not go invisible. So your decoy is just crouched on the ground doing the res animation.
Oh, he's doing the res.
So obviously that's not you, right?
Oh man, it's like, oh, I'm resing something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they know that like that's not the one to try to find, where is the real one.
It'll be interesting, and maybe we can do a couple streams with Apex. I mean, hey, we play it anyway, so it's a fun game. Anything else you want to chime in about Apex Season 5? Anything? I don't have any other questions per se that I'm thinking of right now. Ranked is ranked. I don't think anything's different. World's Edge. Do you think World's Edge is going to change, or we'll just be stuck with old World's Edge for the entire
I was
season?
honestly expecting a change to World's Edge this season as opposed to a change to King's Canyon. Because we had a couple of iterations of King's Canyon, and then we had one extra iteration of World's Edge. So I was expecting either a change to World's Edge again or a brand new map.
Maybe, yeah, like that's what I was expecting too. At least a brand new map to accompany this change
Season
to King's
5,
Canyon.
yeah.
Because like King's Canyon, it's changed, and like the way you play it is changed, but for the most part, half of the map is more than half of the map, maybe 75% of the map.
It's pretty similar. Yeah, it's the same. Like Octane's Gauntlet is still there, and it's still the same. They didn't change it anyway. They didn't so they didn't put I don't know, lava cracks or anything, or they didn't flood it or anything like that. I feel like I would have been more excited about King's Canyon Season 5 if not just sinking Skulltown, if they changed a lot of the other maps, labs is half caved in, or airbase is flooded or something like that. You know what I mean? I probably would have been more excited if it was really different.
If it was, yeah. And I when I looked in the first time, when I dropped in the first time, I was like, okay, where am I? Let me get my bearings. But for the most part, it was like, okay, I understand. This half of the map is the same. These little portions are a little bit different. And, they got some rocks here and there that are actually different that they've changed up, some little terrain differences. But for the most part, you should feel at home on this map. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, again, the game has only been out for a little bit over a year now, so we're still kind of in our early legs of Apex Legends. So you look at Rainbow Six Siege, that game's been around for 2 years now, 3 years. So
and they have 52 operators now.
Yeah, they have so many operators, and yeah, I mean that game. I think Siege is doing well. I'm glad Siege came back. Siege wasn't doing so well at launch, and I think and Ubisoft turned it around into an actual a competitive esport game.
Game.
Yeah, that's good on Ubisoft.
I think it's actually a game where Japan has a team too. Japan is really good in Siege. Apparently, I was watching this TV show where they kind of follow esports and esport commentators here in Japan, and they were talking about the Rainbow Six Siege team for Japan. And it's they won, I guess, second place or first place twice in a row, for back-to-back years. I was like, okay, that's cool. Good job. Don't know where your Apex team is, but they got some crazy Apex players. But
yeah, I don't think Japan's doing all that well in Apex. I think in Season 2 or something, Invitationals, Japan didn't rank very high.
For the motherland.
Anyways.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's our Apex rant / Japan life. That was very interesting. I wasn't expecting the Japan thing, but luckily my life has provided interesting things even when I'm locked inside. Yes. And we're going to come back with the news of a new generation, a new era, one that we all believe is going to be better.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Hey, Adrian, never thought about making a podcast?
All the time, except for we are already making a podcast.
No, but I mean like a different one, maybe a better one.
Sure.
Yeah. So I was on the internet. I was trying to figure out like what's the best host for a podcast, or pretty much how can I make a podcast? And I think I settled on Anchor.
We're already using Anchor, buddy.
Wait, are you serious? Are we actually?
I'm actually serious because it's free. And of course, we're on like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and like Google Podcasts, and so many other places.
Wait, how do we do that though?
Anchor did that for us.
Oh, just like automatically, right? Anchor
Yeah.
will just distribute your podcast for like free?
Exactly. Wait, I thought you did the research.
Yeah, well, I kind of did, but I do know that Anchor will help you make money from a podcast. Cash money.
Cash money grabs. Exactly. That's how we're making money right now, I think.
Absolutely. Like right at this very moment.
At this very moment with this sponsorship.
Well, I mean, also Anchor has some pretty cool creation tools that let you record and also edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Because I know you got one of those, probably.
I do have a computer, but I don't have a phone.
Well, whatever. You can still make a podcast because in 2020, there's no reason why anyone shouldn't have a podcast.
Everyone deserves a voice. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Well, Anchor is just everything you need to make a podcast, but just all in one place. You can download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Enjoy the show, everyone. Thanks for listening. And welcome back to the...
Sorry.
It's like the premature Law and Order court change scene. You can hit it again. Hit that gavel. Doom, doom. There we go. Well, welcome back, everybody. I think this week last week was pretty awesome in the fact that we finally had some next gen, I guess like a feel of what next gen is going to be like. And if you're on PC, you're probably like, oh man, I've already got some of this good stuff anyways. But for us console simpletons and, people who don't have consoles, who just have a Switch, I'm not biased against the Switch. Anyways, we got Epic Games showed us the Unreal Engine 5 running on a PlayStation 5. That's a lot of fives together. It's 5.5.
Yeah.
Which
they said it's playable actually. So.
Oh, for real? It's like.
Yeah, they said it was a playable tech demo, which I mean we'll have to take their word for it at this point. They're not exactly handing that out on things
online
that we can play on, but yeah.
It's like, hey guys, go ahead and play this. Because the engine itself is going to be out, I believe, next fall for developers to actually start, well, for everyone to actually start using, open to the public kind of thing, buy the license or whatever. But I mean, they were very keen to show what they did, and it was like a 9-minute demo where, I mean, the actual demo itself is probably like 3 minutes, not even that much if you just walk through it. But the highlights of this engine are they really wanted to work on lighting, which I think is under like they call it like lumens, if I'm right. The lumens part of the engine, and then also the text. Is it texture, like physics textures?
Yeah, it's like the texture quality. They said it's like Hollywood movie asset level that you can just import, and it scales properly based on your resolution. So.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. So if you take a look at the video, a lot of the focus on this demo was on real time lighting. So they take like the sun and they can move it in real time, and it accurately is reflected in the world. So on the rocks, light is reflected, like on like the sun. What is it? What I want to say, like the material of the surface is accurate. So rocks reflect light in a different way than like a human skin would or something, right? And it's all accurate to real life.
Right. And then on top of that, when light comes in interaction with other objects, so there's a part where she actually goes into the dark, and she has like a little, the equivalent of a flashlight, we'll say, and she shines it on the ground, and all the bugs that are there just kind of scatter away from it, but they keep within the radius. Like, we can kind of stay here, but don't keep pushing that light towards us. So apparently things will be reactive to light if you want to program them that way. So it's, light sources are interactive. which is, which that's cool. I know that the character model itself wasn't exactly high detail, but they wanted to show off that they've made some improvements to the physics engine in terms of like, and this is what I thought was actually really cool is, like a lot of times in games when characters are standing on steps or if they're kind of, I don't know, they touch a wall or something, their hands or feet don't actually rest flush to it. It doesn't seem
Oh
like they
yeah,
completely
yeah.
touched it.
I've seen that a lot in video games, especially like Metal Gear Solid 5. Like when you're walking upstairs slowly, like Snake kind of like glides on them.
Yeah, yeah. So they went out their way, I guess, to improve that, and it was really nice to actually see that when she was standing on an uneven surface, that her feet looked like they were pretty rested on the ground, and even when she's touching, when she's kind of like doing that kind of animation where you crawl through the wall that everyone
Hmm.
does. I don't know why that ever started. I think it was God of War 3, but yeah, these little subtle touches that they're adding that they say you can add now with their physics. Also, her scarf is modeled just apparently
Yeah.
just straight up
So
nicely.
the thing about crawling through the wall is like that's a game development technique to
To
reduce.
load, right?
Yeah, this stops a player from moving too quickly through an area, which gives the game time to load textures.
Yep, yep. And in this
So
case, the textures up, like you said, are already there.
when that happened in this demo, I think people were concerned that they were doing that for the same reason to give the game or the engine time to load textures. But Epic said that they just wanted the camera to get really close to the wall so that you could see the quality of the textures.
Hmm. Uh-huh. Yeah, the textures are
Uh,
they're all really really high quality. Like you said, Hollywood asset. It just looks beautiful. Now this demo was running at 1440p at 30 frames a second. There was no ray tracing, if I believe.
yeah, there's no ray tracing on it. Yeah.
So all the lighting and stuff is being done in the engine.
Hmm.
And I talked to my friend Anthony, friend of the show today, and he's I love how he was just like, yeah, man, it was cool and all, but I bet you didn't notice all that other stuff. In terms of like, he's like, okay, it's cool and everything, but it really isn't. This demo isn't as cracked up as it seems to be. If you go back and look at Unreal Engine 4's demo,
It looks
that
really impressive.
it
Yeah.
looks really impressive too. Very similar.
Hmm.
So for him, he's just like, all this stuff is good, but we'll see in an actual game if you're able to do all this, especially with loading in all these assets, these high quality assets, which you no longer have to descale. Was it like not descale them down, but I guess not pulling the full quality of your asset or a statue or something. And yeah, I don't know. They show that one room with like 1,500 something like these statues. Like these are all high quality assets, and we're moving through them in real time. Like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's always like a vertical slice of the pie to so to speak, because like yeah, when you have a tech demo of something like this, it looks really really good because that's like the max capacity
Hmm.
of what the engine can show, but it's not a full game. Like there's a lot of stuff that's different from an actual working full scale game.
Yep.
So we'll
And
see like what happens like in 3-4 years when the console generation is in full swing.
it'll be interesting. And I think that it was interesting actually this generation seeing number one, personally, Japanese developers use the Unreal Engine and really customize it to giving us all these really nice anime style games and things that we haven't seen the Unreal Engine or think the Unreal Engine is, would be doing. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I found that to be a cool thing this generation. And I'm looking forward to that the most, seeing what kind of anime like worlds I can kind of go into and how much better those get. Even though they're not using all of this cool technology, I think they're still like, I don't know, there's room for them
Yeah,
to
I know
kind of
like
incorporate it.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is Unreal 4, I think.
I think, yeah, yeah, I
And
think
then all of like the recent Arceus games are also Unreal.
Unreal. So they heavily customize it. I don't know, but was there anything in this demo that kind of stood out to you? Any moments? I know the moment at the end where she just jumps off the cliff and just straight up does some flight
Some journey stuff, yeah, I know.
journey shit. It was awesome. But was there anything that
Uh
you saw or anything that got you hype in this demo?
I mean, I wasn't like really really hype on it cuz it's like I'm not. That's not to say that it wasn't impressive, but it was. It is impressive. It's just like I want to see, um, to what extent can developers actually get their games to look like this. I think what stood out for me was the lighting. It looked really impressive, very realistic, very photorealistic. So,
Yep. Yep.
I think that'll be, if AAA games in 3 years can you get actually achieve that level of real time lighting, I think that would be really really cool. And they said, yeah, you're right. There's no ray tracing in that demo, but that doesn't mean you can't also use ray tracing when you make a Unreal 5 game.
Right. Right.
So there is a possibility that there's a game in 4 years running on PS5 or whatever. Because I think they said PS5 supports ray tracing. How well, I don't know, but it is. They could do a game running UE5 with the lighting effects and also ray tracing, just to see how incredible that gets. So,
and it's I don't know. For me, I looked at this and I had a good reaction similar to when I saw PS2 to PS3.
that jump.
Yeah, there was a jump moment for me. PS3 to PS4, I was like, okay, it's whatever, right? But for this, I felt like, you know what? I want to get a PS5. I want to get an Xbox Series X. I want to upgrade my PC. Like, I want to be in this generation because I feel like we're taking another leap that we haven't had for a little bit. I think it was marginal before.
Up until now, lighting of that quality always had to be baked in, so not rendered in real time. And for a game developer, that takes a lot of time. And like, if you want to look at your scene and the lighting's not quite right, you have to go and like rebake it, and that's a lot of resources, a lot of time.
Right.
So being able to change things up on the fly, to tweak your scene to make sure it looks really correctly lit and everything, that'll either reduce the development cycle of a video game, or it'll free up so much resources that the devs can put time into just other stuff.
Yep. So we're overall, if you haven't seen the demo, definitely go check out. I think you can check it out on Vimeo or just IGN, just any news site that you check for video games. Just look up the Unreal Engine 5. You'll be able to find it, or YouTube, whatever. It's there, and it's beautiful, and it's nice. But you know what else is nice? Apparently, this free PR that Sony got. We'll call this free PR because, we were talking on a couple shows back about how, Sony's like, okay, here's the next gen or whatever. And they had the GDC thing come out, and we really weren't able to tangibly understand what the heck they were talking about for us common people. Anthony kind of broke it down on one of our episodes, and it made a lot more sense then. But we have let's see, is it Todd Sweeney? Did I get it right?
From Epic Games?
From Epic Games, yeah. Who I wish I knew his title for right now. Why can't
he's like the president of Epic Games.
Right? Okay. But he was saying that, and this is what kind of threw me off. He's like, Sony's done a really awesome job of architecting a great system. The storage architecture on the PS5 is far ahead of anything you can buy on anything on PC. I said that a lot. For any amount of money right now, it's going to help drive the future of PCs. They're going to see this and be like, oh, wow, SSDs are going to need to catch up with this. Which I know I sent this statement to you, and it was just kind of like, what? WTF? Okay. So they're working with Sony in terms of just probably asking them like, hey, what would you guys like? I don't know if they signed a deal for this to say like, hey, you guys can only say Sony, because they don't really mention Xbox.
Yeah,
Series X.
I think they asked like Xbox or Microsoft rather, like, hey, can that demo run on Xbox Series X? And they said like, it's a really vague answer. They're like, yeah, we believe that demo is very indicative of like what the next gen will be, but they just can't say like straight up, yeah, we can run it too.
And obviously it's it's a middleware engine. It's for everybody. So yes,
But
it's gonna run.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
And,
gonna
and
run
what's so
perfectly fine.
confusing is like if you look at the paper, Xbox Series X has Sony beat in a bunch of like spots, right? GPUs
Right.
more powerful on a Series X. So like why not? Like why can't it run on a Series X, right?
And so like what Sony's been trumping is their hard drive, which is this, it's a hard drive that's essentially used on the not 360, but the Xbox Series X as well, the NVE2. But the only
Yeah.
difference is Sony is saying that this thing is so integrated into the system, and this is what Epic is either truly echoing, or is just saying for PR. I have no clue, but this is really what's going to make the difference between the two systems is this integration of their SSD into the PS5's architecture.
Sure, yeah. And I mean if that helps if that helps like streamline the texture pipeline for graphics on a PS5, then I can see maybe how things would run a little bit better on the PS5, but it is an engine that's meant to be multi-platform. So like what about PCs, right? So
it's such a weird thing. And like, people came out of this all of the news headlines were PS5 gameplay on PS5. I mean, Sony, you might not be able to do your own marketing well, but I guess you leave it to other people and they'll do it for you pretty darn well. So,
yeah. What are the other major engines? I mean, like Unreal Engine is one of the major ones, but there's a ton of games that are made in Unity.
But Unity, I feel like Unity is falling behind now a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I think it might be in terms of tech and stuff, but I think the appeal of Unity is just how easy it is to work in Unity, and and because it's so multi-platform, like you can make games in Unity on like mobile phones all the way up to a PC and PS4. So
I feel like those are the two main engines that are like middleware engines that are used. I know, of course, pretty sure you can use Frostbite or CryEngine or Source, of course, if that's like a personal project that you want to work on. But like other companies aren't just straight up using those. And I think we see a lot of times with Sony, their proprietary stuff.
Well, it's because I think why Unreal Engine is so widely used is because it's so widely documented. So if you are making a game and you're like, I need to solve this problem, like my game is being weird right now.
Yeah.
Chances are there's going to be another team who has solved that problem. So that's why it's really easy to work with. You have a lot of support from other developers. I think you can talk to you can just like reach out to Epic and be like, hey, like what up with your engine? And then they can help you out.
So it's definitely become the engine. It used to just be the Unreal Tournament engine that became the Gears of War engine. Shiny, shiny, shiny.
I really miss the days when a new Unreal Engine meant a new Unreal Tournament.
Were we ever going to get a new Unreal Tournament? Just like a throwback? Throwback for the hell of it?
On, like, they were making an Unreal Tournament, and then I played it. Like, it was in beta. It was like an open beta. It was like a community project. Like, people could just make the game, basically.
Oh, man.
And I was playing it in alpha, or whatever it was, and then Epic hit it really big with some game called Fortnite and literally killed all their other projects. I'm not kidding. Paragon dead. Unreal dead. Everything like Unreal is just like, well, that's not making us money, and like now they just do.
And it wasn't.
Fortnite,
I mean, honestly, it wasn't. We can't say that Unreal was making anyone money, but still.
No, it made them zero money because it didn't even make it out of development. It was an alpha. It was I'm not like it made zero money.
Oh man, I feel so bad.
You could argue
now.
that like at least Paragon was maybe making like money, but no one was playing it. So like,
and ironically,
killed that game.
Fortnite wasn't making that much money either until it just people caught on.
It became a battle royale, yeah, because Fortnite was supposed to be a thing called like that's what they call. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
weird 4-player
like survival game. And then one of the like randomly they're like, hey guys, we put in a battle royale mode just for the hell of it, go crazy. And then I remember like Bluehole Games like PUBG got really mad, right? They were like, that's our thing, we're the battle royale.
And they were. Now they're not.
Yeah, and the Epic was just like, we can do whatever, we do what we want. And then suddenly it's like one of the biggest games in the world now.
And that's what you do, everybody. You take something and you make it better. Fix it. Become one with progress.
So if you ever want to know why is Fortnite a battle royale game have building, it's because it wasn't built like
it wasn't built as a
it
battle
was
royale.
supposed. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's why.
Because you had to pay for that mode. Like that with the full game was you paid
Yeah,
$40 for it, and the battle royale was
yeah,
just a free. Like I don't want to pay for this, so
yeah. Exactly,
that's what happened.
exactly. They're like, hey, we have this quirky battle royale mode. Go have fun, you guys. Maybe you'll actually pay for the game, and then
And then
no one paid for it.
and that's what happened.
So,
But I think that's pretty much it. I had a couple of the news stories, but we're running close to time. Capcom apparently is going to release multiple major titles by March 31st, 2021. Sony Worldwide Studios, or what is it called? It's like PlayStation Studios now.
oh yeah,
Is their brand uniting all of their kind of first party studios, which I'm glad to see that. You know, that's a good thing. It has a little Marvel like intro. I'm like, okay.
Everyone was making that comparison. Yeah.
And even like I think on one of the top head executives or whatever, he was explaining, it's like, yeah, when you go to a Marvel movie and you see that opening logo screen and it's just like all your favorite characters. I mean, it's the same thing. And Evo is coming back online. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, but obviously it's only for games that have online support. So you'll notice like Smash Bros is not on there anymore.
Which, people aren't like, the Smash community isn't upset with that just because Smash Online is not a fun experience per se. So, they've still got Street Fighter V Champion Edition, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Samurai Showdown, Grand Blue Fantasy versus Soul Calibur 6, Tekken 7, and Under Night and Birth. They've also got a couple other games that, if I remember, Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath, Killer Instinct, which I was like, whoa, KI's coming? Because KI has solid online. So I was like, yo, I'm cool. I always love watching people play KI. Them fighting herds. I don't know what this horse fighting game is about.
Oh, I saw that. It was crazy. Yeah, that one was funny.
Didn't know this existed.
Yeah.
But hey, My Little Pony generation. Get your fight on. Next to Skullgirls, second encore. Cannot say that. So anyways,
second encore.
Encore. And when is Evo happening? When Evo Online? Did they give a date? It's probably a date somewhere. And July 4th. There we go. Happy Independence Day.
Oh yeah, this is Independence Day.
Dun, 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 dun. I keep hearing Barrett say that in my head over and over.
Oh, when you finish a fight?
When I finish a fight, he's just like, I'm like, thanks, Barrett. Thanks for putting this in. I'm on chapter 14. And I'm on all of the side quests there.
Chapter 14, that's after, well, not spoilers really, the game is kind of old, but that's after Sector 7 has fallen, right?
Yeah. After how could they just do that? How? And I'm like,
were you sad, like going up the tower and then meeting all of Avalanche as you?
Oh, my girl Jessie. That's how I felt. I felt like.
Were you sad? Were you sad?
We've joked about this moment coming because we knew it was coming. But
yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing about like playing a game where you kind of know the story going into it, because we know Avalanche doesn't survive Sector 7, right?
Yeah.
And then you spend, in the beginning of Remake, you spend a lot of time joking around with these characters, and you're like, oh, I feel so bad.
So I didn't feel so bad about Biggs. Like, I was like, Biggs.
Oh, why?
Wait, but hold up. The one thing I wanted Biggs to do is be like, yo, somebody... I wanted him to live so he could go back to the orphanage and, like, take care of the kids or whatever. I don't know, like, because, like, they tell you, like, early on, or when you go to the orphanage...
Yeah, he used to be there, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, shit, Biggs, man, you a G. And then, like, I get up there, and Jesse's down, I'm like... And Jesse's still spitting that game, man. Jesse's still spitting that game. Tifa's like, I don't know how to look at you. You are going to die. You're honestly a great friend. Stop hitting on my man.
What about Wedge? How do you feel about Wedge?
Wedge, I was actually really happy to see he made it out. Honestly, I was, because I thought he was gonna die. Because
sorry, spoilers for FF7 Remake, by the way.
Oh, dadgummit. The spoiler cast is slowly coming. If you haven't done this, don't.
Yeah, so I think now, like, but you can put a warning in the beginning, but I think now you, as the player, you're starting to see where the where the story is starting to splinter, right?
Yeah, I think a little bit right there. And
Yeah, you're starting to see like, oh, this is not like a one-to-one story remake. And I mean, you'll see like when you get through the next 4 chapters, 7 chapters, I don't know, whatever, like however left is left in the game. But like when you finish the game, I think you'll have opinions of like where the next part is going to go.
I'm still really enjoying all the combat, still enjoying that. And I finally got to, I think I'm almost legitly at the end of Crisis Core. So I finally finished up Nibelheim, and just to see how that whole event played out is whack as fudge. It is
I
whack. It is
Yeah,
wacky. I don't get it. I don't get it.
oh man, I guess I have to wait for you to finish the remake, but like I actually haven't finished Crisis Core either.
So we were talking about last episode, and we're gonna wrap it up a little bit, but how Sephiroth is, for the most part, he's a good guy. He's,
Yeah, he's
you know what?
actually
No, he
not
is actually a good guy. Bump it. There
in
is
Crisis
no
Core. In Crisis Core, yeah.
Core.
Yeah.
He's okay until he understands that Genova, his mom, who he believed was a real mother, because a scientist guy told him, or like a guy told him, your mom's name is Genova, and he finds Genova in the lab, and he's like, no, this can't be my mom. No, my
Well, yeah,
mom's
no,
a
it's
human.
not.
He
Yeah.
doesn't believe. He doesn't want to believe that he is a project. He is. He was created. That is the whole thing. So he locks himself down in the basement in Nibelheim, reads a bunch of stuff on ancients and about Genova, and then he just magically comes out like
He's crazy. Yeah.
he's crazy. He comes out
Yeah.
legitimately crazy after that. Burns the village down. Everyone's like, Zach's like, the fuck did you do, Sephiroth, bro? What happened? He's like,
Yeah.
this planet is mine.
Yeah, yeah,
Mother,
yeah.
we shall take it. And then Zach's like, you're not the Sephiroth I know.
Yeah. I'm hoping that in the next part or the next 2 parts of remake that they touch on Vincent Valentine a little more.
Mm,
Like, because he is related to Sephiroth, right?
right.
And in the original game, he's an optional character.
optional
So if you don't get Vincent, you actually miss out on that part of the
That
story.
story. Which I didn't actually get him. I got Yuffie,
Yeah,
but I didn't get.
you didn't get Vincent. Yeah, and I think like because Yuffie and Vincent are optional, like when you get to the end of the game, they don't really have that many lines because I guess they couldn't, like they weren't sure if the player would have these characters in the party, so they didn't give them important parts
Right.
in the ending. But like, yeah, now that people know that they exist, they'll probably make them non-optional, and then they'll probably give them bigger parts in the story.
Yeah, I really want to see them make sure that they flesh out Sephiroth. I really want them to harken back to everything that happens in Crisis Core, because I am actually upset with Aerith not understand, like, the sword is the same darn sword. It bothers me. I have to finish the end. Cloud Sword is his exact sword. Like,
Oh yeah,
she
you would be like, hey,
hints at it.
I've seen that sword before. Like, yeah,
It's like she hints at kind of having gone through this before when the Turks show up, and that's a whole thing with Zack as well. Like, there's a whole connection, a whole storyline there. I just wanted to kind of go there. I wanted to go there. I want my boy
Yeah.
Zack to get his attention, because that dude is legit. Sorry,
Also,
Cloud.
like
Weak motherfucker.
Aerith will hint about it when you are going through. I think it's like chapter 9 actually, when Aerith was just like, "Hey, Cloud, did you have any friends in Soldier?" And the Cloud's
Yeah.
just like, "No."
No.
No?
Yeah. Which is actually funny, because Tifa actually asked Zack the same question in Crisis Core. She's like, do you know any blonde soldiers? Any blonde guys in soldiers? I mean, I don't tell anybody. I'm just, my
Yeah.
knight in shining armor. And he's just like, what the fudge?
Anyways, yeah, you should finish remake. I don't know how long. Like, I think if you, I don't know, like, what level are you like right now?
25.
25. Okay.
Yeah, 25, maybe going to 27. I'm literally where I'm just going to do all these side quests, and then finally just go through the last part. Because after that, it's just story. And it's just, what, an hour?
Yeah, I
per
think
chapter,
the last couple no, not in, like maybe in the middle of the game it's an hour per chapter, but like once you get near the end, man, it's like
the heck, I'm already at 33 hours. I'm already at 33.
Oh, you're at 33? Oh.
I've been playing like I just zone out and just play and enjoy it.
So. Like the last 2 chapters I think are a bit of a jaunt, but they're fun.
Yeah. If you're still here with us, people, we hope you enjoyed this moment of Final Fantasy VII, brought to you by us, GameStop, and probably, I don't know, Anchor.fm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Anchor.
Yeah. Thanks, GameStop. You don't know it yet, but we know you. And that'll do it for us this week. Episode 33. We'll be back next week for episode number 34. Let us know once again if you have any voice messages for us. If you want to leave that on our Anchor page at anchor.fm/UGPcast. There's a button there. You can always do that. And you can always follow us on social media on Twitter or Instagram at UGP_cast. Leave us a tweet or, just whatever you're doing, whatever you're playing. We've hit a lot of followers on both of those platforms. I got to say they're a lot of fun to kind of work on. And I promise, actually, maybe this week me and Alex will play. What game did we buy?
Phantom Breaker.
Phantom Breaker. There we go. I kind of like the podcast we did for Final Fantasy VII, the demo.
Yeah,
that was kind of fun. Maybe we'll do something like that again too. So once again, thanks everyone for joining. Remember, you set the tone. Go play some games. Enjoy your life. And stay safe. Go play some Chrono Trigger. Did I steal your line? Oh, crap.
Yeah, I guess. But you can play Chrono Trigger. It's on PC. Like, just do it. Just get it. Or mobile phone or DS or PlayStation 1.
Yeah. So go do that, everybody. And then go find Xenosaga.
Yeah, good luck finding that one. Yeah, good luck finding that one. Yeah.
Make us proud. All right, everyone. We'll catch you next week. Later.
Wow. Peace.
You win.
I don't have that one. I should get it though.
You should get that one. It's a good one.
The you win from Street Fighter 2, right? Where it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. You win. Perfect.